America is known for its dynamic cities, breathtaking landscapes, and vast opportunities. But not all parts of the country are as idyllic as they seem. In fact, some states have become overcrowded, overpriced, and unbearable for their residents. Rising populations, skyrocketing housing costs, and a lack of adequate infrastructure have created the perfect storm in these regions. Today, we are diving into the 10 most overpopulated, overpriced states in America, where urban sprawl, inflated real estate, and diminishing quality of life have made daily living a challenge. Whether you're considering moving to one of these states or currently live there, it's crucial to understand what these states are dealing with and what this means for their residents. 10. Colorado, the Rocky Nightmare. Colorado has long been known for its scenic beauty, with the Rocky Mountains drawing tourists and new residents alike. But with an influx of people, especially into cities like Denver, the state's charm is fading. Colorado has experienced an extraordinary population growth rate, with its population growing by 1.5 million people from 2010 to 2020, reaching nearly 5.8 million people in total. This surge in residents has caused housing prices to soar. Median home prices in Denver alone increased by 45% between 2016 and 2021, with the average price hitting approximately $600,000. Denver's rental market is equally brutal, with the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment reaching $1,500 per month. The state's infrastructure has struggled to keep up with this rapid growth, leading to severe traffic congestion. The commute time for Coloradans has increased by 17% in the past decade, with the average Denver resident spending around 52 minutes in traffic daily. Not to mention, many residents face overcrowded hiking trails and diminished access to nature, once a defining feature of the state. Despite the stunning landscape, the rising cost of living and overcrowded conditions make Colorado a tough place for those who aren't prepared for the price tag. 9. Arizona. Scorched and overcrowded. Arizona is home to the Grand Canyon, but it's also home to some of the fastest-growing cities in the nation. Phoenix, for example, has seen its population double in the last 20 years, making it the fifth largest city in the U.S., with more than 1.7 million residents. Arizona's population growth between 2010 and 2020 surged by 11.9%, one of the highest in the country. While many people are flocking to Phoenix for its low cost of living, the demand has driven housing costs through the roof. The median home price in Phoenix rose by 20% from 2020 to 2021 alone, now standing at $450,000. This rapid growth has strained Arizona's already limited resources. Phoenix is now dealing with extreme traffic congestion, with average commute times of about 30–45 minutes. But what makes Arizona especially problematic is the looming water crisis. As the state grows, it's becoming increasingly difficult to provide enough water to sustain its population, with Lake Mead, the primary water source for millions of Arizonans, at historically low levels. The scorching heat and severe droughts only exacerbate the situation, making Arizona a state on the brink of a crisis. 8. Oregon. Portland's pricey crisis. Oregon, known for its lush landscapes and progressive culture, has seen Portland transform from a quirky, laid-back city to a crowded, overpriced urban hub. Oregon's population increased by 10% from 2010 to 2020, and Portland now has a population of over 650,000. However, the housing market is in a state of crisis, with the average home price in Portland jumping by 33% from 2016 to 2021. The median home price has now surpassed $500,000, making it difficult for middle-class families to buy homes. Portland is also grappling with rising rents, with the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment hitting $1,500 per month. Coupled with a lack of affordable housing options, Portland residents are feeling the crunch. The city's public transportation system, once hailed as one of the best in the U.S., is overwhelmed by the surge in population. Traffic congestion has become a serious issue, with average commute times reaching over 40 minutes daily. This urban sprawl has created a city that many residents no longer recognize, with quality of life decreasing as more people cram into less space. 7. Washington. The crowded Cascades. Washington state, famous for its lush forests and the bustling tech hub of Seattle, is experiencing growing pains as its population swells. Seattle, the state's largest city, has become a magnet for tech workers, pushing the city's population to over 750,000, while the surrounding metropolitan area has surpassed 4 million people. From 2010 to 2020, Washington's population grew by 14%, and housing prices have followed suit. The median home price in Seattle has risen to an eye-watering $800,000, making it one of the most expensive cities in the nation. Renters are also feeling the strain, with the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment hovering around $2,200 per month. While Seattle's booming tech industry has brought high-paying jobs, it has also resulted in severe income inequality, as many lower-income residents are priced out of the city. Additionally, Washington is infamous for its traffic jams, with average commute times in Seattle pushing over 50 minutes daily, making the city one of the most congested in the U.S. 6 Texas. Bigger isn't always better. Texas is often thought of as a land of opportunity, but the rapid growth of cities like Austin, Dallas, and Houston has turned the state into a sprawling, overpriced mess. Texas's population increased by 15% from 2010 to 2020. With Austin seeing a staggering 30% increase in that period alone. Austin, once known for its affordable living, is now dealing with skyrocketing housing prices. The median home price in Austin has soared to nearly $500,000, a sharp increase from just a few years ago. The influx of people into Texas has led to severe traffic congestion in major cities. In Austin, for instance, the average commute time has increased by 12 minutes over the past 5 years, bringing the average daily commute to over 30 minutes. Houston and Dallas also struggle with similar issues, as expanding populations have outpaced the state's infrastructure. The cost of living in Texas may still be lower than in some states, but it's becoming harder for many residents to afford to live in the cities that once promised affordable living. 5. Nevada. Deserted dreams. Nevada is home to one of the most recognizable cities in the world, Las Vegas, but it's also facing significant issues tied to population growth and cost of living increases. Las Vegas has grown rapidly over the last decade, attracting both tourists and new residents. The state's population surged by 15% between 2010 and 2020, with Las Vegas now home to over 650,000 residents. Housing prices in Las Vegas have jumped by 40% since 2020, with the median home price now standing at $400,000. The rental market is equally strained, with the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment hovering around $1,200 per month. The city's rapid growth has also led to strained public services and utilities. Additionally, Nevada's reliance on tourism for economic stability makes it highly susceptible to economic downturns, as the COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated. With the cost of living rising rapidly, many residents are beginning to question whether Las Vegas is still the affordable city it once was. 4. Massachusetts, the expensive Bay State. Massachusetts has long been one of the most expensive states to live in, but its high cost of living is becoming more unbearable with each passing year. The Boston metropolitan area has seen population growth of over 10% since 2010, pushing the population of the city itself to over 700,000. The housing market in Boston is in crisis, with median home prices skyrocketing to over $600,000, up nearly 40% from 2015 to 2020. Even rents are out of control, with one-bedroom apartments in Boston averaging $2,500 per month. The state's dense population and lack of affordable housing have led to overcrowded schools, increased traffic congestion, and strained infrastructure. In fact, Boston's traffic is some of the worst in the nation, with residents spending an average of 52 minutes commuting each day. While Massachusetts offers some of the best education and healthcare in the country, the cost of living is simply too high for many, especially in cities like Boston. 3. Illinois, the land of Lincoln and gridlock. Illinois, particularly Chicago, is emblematic of the struggles faced by many urbanized states in America. Chicago's metropolitan area, with over 9.5 million residents, accounts for more than 70% of the state's population. Illinois as a whole saw modest population growth in the early 2010s, but the 2020 census revealed a troubling trend. People are leaving. Between 2010 and 2020, Illinois' population declined by over 18,000 residents, primarily due to high taxes, rising living costs, and dwindling opportunities outside Chicago. The cost of living in Illinois, while lower than in some coastal states, remains high compared to wages. In Chicago, the median home price is approximately $320,000, but taxes and maintenance can make this unaffordable for many. Property taxes in Illinois are among the highest in the nation, with the average homeowner paying 2.27% of their home's value annually, nearly double the national average. For renters, the picture isn't much better. A one-bedroom apartment in Chicago averages $1,800 per month, a hefty expense for middle-income earners. Traffic congestion is another major issue. Chicagoans spend an average of 60 hours a year stuck in traffic, and the city's public transit system, though extensive, is overburdened. Illinois is also grappling with a pension crisis and significant budgetary shortfalls, further complicating its ability to invest in infrastructure. These challenges, coupled with harsh winters, make Illinois a tough place to live for many residents. To New York, the overpriced Empire State. New York has long been synonymous with ambition and opportunity, but living here comes at a steep cost. With over 20 million residents, New York is the fourth most populous state in the country, and its largest city, New York City, is home to 8.8 million people. NYC, in particular, is a global hub for finance, culture, and innovation, but the city's allure comes with jaw-dropping living expenses. The median home price in New York City is $775,000, while rents average $3,800 per month for a one-bedroom apartment, making it one of the most expensive rental markets in the world. Even upstate New York, which is generally more affordable, isn't immune to challenges. Many areas are struggling with slow economic growth, declining populations, and rising property taxes. The average New Yorker spends nearly 15% of their income on housing costs alone, compared to the national average of 12%. Traffic and public transit issues are another significant challenge. New Yorkers spend an average of 117 hours per year stuck in traffic, ranking among the worst in the nation. Subways and buses are overcrowded, and while the state is investing in improvements, the progress has been slow. Additionally, New York's harsh winters and occasional extreme weather events add to the cost and complexity of living in the state. For many, the promise of New York is overshadowed by its crushing costs and relentless pace of life. 1. Hawaii. Paradise comes at a price. Hawaii may be a tropical paradise, but for many residents, it's also an unaffordable and overcrowded reality. The state's unique geography means limited land for development, which has driven housing prices to astronomical levels. Hawaii's population stands at 1.4 million, but the state receives over 10 million tourists annually, putting immense pressure on infrastructure, housing, and natural resources. The median home price in Hawaii is $835,000, making it the most expensive state for homeownership in the U.S. In Honolulu, the median price exceeds $1 million, and rents are equally eye-watering, with the average one-bedroom apartment costing around $2,400 per month. This makes it incredibly difficult for local residents, particularly native Hawaiians, to afford to live on the islands their families have called home for generations. Hawaii also struggles with some of the highest costs of goods and services in the nation, as nearly everything must be imported. Living in the United States offers incredible opportunities, but as we've seen today, not all states provide the quality of life we expect. From soaring housing costs to overcrowded streets, these 10 states demonstrate the challenges of balancing population growth with affordability and sustainability. If you're considering moving to any of these states, it's essential to understand the realities of life there. Are the job opportunities and attractions worth the cost of living? For many, the answer isn't so simple. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content like this. What's your experience with any of these states? Are they as bad as they sound, or are there hidden gems in these so-called hellhole states? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video on Expedition Explorer.